Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Unbettable. I'm Mondo here today with Gary and Holmes. And today's episode, we are talking ball. We got baseball led by Holmes. We got women's basketball not led by Gary because he doesn't know it. And then we got NBA playoffs starting up this week with the play-in tournament. Boys, how was the weekend? What's going on? It's been a little bit. Holmes, I guess we should start with you. I mean, you got a little different look going here. What's going on?
I did, in honor of us being here in Miami. I have gotten the fresh cut. I have assimilated into the Miami culture, trying to look fresh down here, trying to look good. New job, trying to just have a new look, dude. I've been having that long hair just for so long, it's been bothering the hell out of me for a while. Now we got something a little different. Weekend was nice, very relaxing. Ready to get into some sports tonight. Let's get it.
All right, Gary Gowdy, I saw you this weekend, man. Well, for when you decide to come out of your room, I saw you this weekend. What's going on, dude?
I had a lot of people in my three-bedroom house this weekend. I think at the cap of it, I counted we had 42. And yeah, it was just a lot. And my social battery, I needed to recharge it. Uh, and yeah, it was a good weekend though. I saw you, I saw Lip. Uh, we had a tailgate, that was fun. I finally finished the dog beer challenge and got my shirt. So
You
that
did.
was
Nice.
hype.
Very nice.
So yeah, overall a good weekend.
So yeah, I went up this weekend. It was orange and blue, so we went up to have fun. We also got summoned to do the alumni induction, which was a whole nother interesting kind of
I
shit
forgot
show
about
we
that.
did. Voice of God. Do you agree that there was 42 people for the keg I dropped?
42, like Jackie Robinson.
There you go. 42. The voice of God has spoken. Anything else about Gary, voice of God?
Paid his bets.
There we go. All right, we got it. Holmes, I will let you take it away. We got college baseball to discuss. It has been an up and down season so far for our Florida Gators. Where do we stand? How you feeling? Talk to me. Give me everything you got.
Well, I will say, probably since the last time that we have talked about Florida baseball, it has been a pretty big downhill slide, I will say. The Gators have not looked anywhere near like the team they were last year. Especially, obviously, the biggest thing that you've probably noticed watching Gator baseball is their lack of ability to win during the midweeks. Honestly, up until the last time that we talked about Gator baseball, they started off pretty well in SEC play. They won their first couple series. They were looking really nice. They were playing good baseball when it mattered. But in the midweeks, when they're playing these very inferior teams from around the state of Florida, sometimes getting in other teams from outside the state to come play them, they are playing like dog shit. It is incredible to see how much they do not care about these games compared to how much they seem like they kind of care about the weekend games. I mean, dropping games to like Stetson, UCF 9-6 a couple weeks ago, Jacksonville 7-6 just a week ago. I mean, there's just been some bad midweek losses mixed in there very recently. Florida State has beaten up on us every single time we have played them in the midweek this year. They have owned us this year. There's no way around it. And we have officially dropped from the rankings this week. We were sitting top 10 for most of the season, but this slide we have had recently has definitely put us out of contention in the rankings. Gators had a tough 6-game losing streak coming into the final game against South Carolina at home on Sunday. They got swept at Missouri, one of the worst teams in SEC baseball. Come over to Florida State, get their asses whooped in 7 innings, 19-4. Seminoles literally shat on our grave. And then we go to Gainesville, coming back home, playing South Carolina in a best-of-3 series, and they take the first 2 games from us on Friday and Saturday. It has looked really, really rough, ladies and gentlemen. Thank goodness we were able to get an 11-9 win against South Carolina on Sunday to finally break that streak. But holy shit, is it looking bad. The one thing that I will say that I'm very excited about, and I've talked about this multiple times on the pod, but Pierce Coppola is finally back. He is finally back after 2 years. He got on the mound Saturday, pitched a couple of innings, actually looked pretty good with the exception of just giving an early 2-run bomb away to the Gamecocks, which is okay. First start back in 2 years. He had a little bit of jitters. He was nervous. You could tell up there, but he looked really, really good for the first time again, being back in those couple of years. I'm excited for hopefully this guy to claim the starting role on Saturdays. Hopefully have Liam Peterson as a really good bullpen guy for us now. But I do feel like we could be trending in the right direction with this big boost in pitching that we have left. But I mean, we are going to have to show the hell out in the rest of our SEC series that we have. Any thoughts from you guys on what you have seen, what you feel about this team right now? Anything you guys have?
Thank fucking God we got Cags. Thank fucking God. Without him, I mean, we may be one of the worst teams in college baseball.
Maybe lost.
We would be in fucking shambles.
Yeah.
I mean, he's easily the best player in baseball, but I mean that alone, like he's trying his best to carry us. We can't have him do it all. Voice of
Exactly.
God, what are your thoughts?
This team is lifeless, but at the same time, this is classic Kevin O'Sullivan when he has a team that makes a deep run to the College World Series. Typically, there's lots of turnover, and I would not panic after this year.
There you go.
Very fair.
Voice of idiocy, what do you think?
I don't know. I've dropped watching Florida baseball, to be honest. I just watch Wyatt Langford hate dingers for Rangers, and that's about it.
All right. Fair point. Thanks,
ship.
Gary. All right, Gary,
will
let's start
say-
with you. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I will say before we move on, just as a whole, college baseball, I continue to say make sure you are following the Twitter. We had another great weekend of college baseball plays. We're continuing to ride the same teams that we do week after week. Clemson, a very good team. FSU, a very good team. UCF has been very scrappy and getting a ton of wins. Tennessee, Kentucky, Texas A&M, Duke, Virginia Tech, a lot of these ranked teams that have been playing a lot of great ball recently have continued to play that way. We are going to be betting on these teams. So make sure you're continuing to follow. Look out for those plays. We're going to have a very big midweek slate, as well as, of course, the weekend slate that we got coming up this weekend.
Yeah. Keep following the Nerfy boys along, too. We're on fire right now. Never forget about the Nerfy boys. Gary, let's throw this next segment over to you. Who's the number 2 pick in the WNBA draft tonight?
Angel Reese.
Okay. I'm just going to sit with this awkwardness. I need better.
I don't fucking know. Like, who even
I got my
has the
money on
second
Gary
pick of the
Gowdy.
draft?
The voice of God, you said Gary Gowdy.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think of his preparation for the show, voice of God?
Lackluster.
Yeah, let's go through the group chat. There was no preparations from anybody. But
We follow sports. It's not hard.
yeah, I'm gonna say that Cameron Brink goes second.
I think
Power
that's a
forward.
good pick.
Power forward from Stanford. She is absolutely gorgeous. 6'4", Cameron Brink, if you watch this, bro. We can make we would have a good time together. But yeah, Cameron Brink is the second overall pick.
Okay, Gary. Holmes, any thoughts on the WNBA draft tonight?
Not too much. I will say I don't follow it probably as much as I should, just being a sports fan. But I will say I think 2 underrated picks in the top 5 are going to be Camila Cardozo out of South Carolina. I mean, just being with a team that has been that dominant throughout college, you already know she's going to possess all the tools and skills that she's going to need at the next level. It's just getting her ready to play with grown women instead of college women. And then I actually do like Aaliyah Edwards out of UConn as well. I don't know a ton about her. I've watched a few of the UConn games, but again, I think a big thing for me here is just UConn track record of just women in NBA from UConn that have panned out very well. Gina Oriema is consistently pumping out WNBA prospects and championships out of that UConn team. So I wouldn't be surprised to see her go pretty high. Number 2 pick, it's probably going to be Cameron Brink. I feel like she's just too talented. She has everything that you would want at the next level. She seems like a pretty obvious choice behind Caitlin Clark, honestly.
Yeah, I think 1 or 2 are like chalk picks, obviously. I think the 3 and 4 you can go between Cardozo and Rakia Jackson out of Tennessee. She is an electric factory on offense and can actually play defense pretty well too. So I wouldn't be shocked to see her go high. Also, Angel Reese kind of sliding down the draft board, gonna be a steal later in the top 10. She started the season in the top 3. Now she's moved over. So we got a pretty good night for women's college basketball in terms of the WNBA draft. But that's not the biggest thing in basketball right now, shockingly enough. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. We have made it to this point in the year. Betting is taking another step up. We have the NBA playoffs. We have finally made it to this point in the year. NBA playoffs, we got the play-in tournament starting this week. As you guys know, it's the Lakers versus the Pelicans, 7:30 on Tuesday. Golden State, Sacramento, 10 p.m. Tuesday. We got our very own Miami Heat taking on the Sixers Wednesday, as well as Atlanta versus Chicago Bulls. So 4 really fucking solid playing games coming in. I'm going to have pick after pick ready to go. Keep following along the Twitter. You will not regret it. These are going to be banger lines. They are going to be fun to watch. Heat are going to dominate the Sixers. That's all I got to say about that. Any thoughts heading into the playing games?
Yeah, I mean, I will definitely have, I think, certain player props and stuff that I'll make sure to put on the Twitter. But as for the early lines, are all up right now. I'm going to give you my 4 plays from a glance that I like from these games. As far as the Western Conference goes, I'm going to go with the 2 old teams here. I'm going to go with the Lakers. I'm going to go with the Warriors. Both of them on the money line. The spreads are a little tight on those games. But in terms of how these games I think are going to pan out, I'm just going to go with the older guys. I'm going to go with the veterans. I'm going to go with the guys that have been in these playoff scenarios more than the Pelicans and the Kings have, obviously, in recent years. So, hey, man, if the Pelicans and the Kings, if they prove me wrong, good for them. We're going to be betting on them going forward. But I am going to trust the old guys to get it done when it really matters, when they really turn their level of play up a notch, because this is championship season. As far as the Wednesday night Eastern Conference playoff play-in games go, I'm going to be riding with you, Mondo. We're going to definitely take the Heat. I'm going to take them plus 4.5. I'm going to take them plus 155 on the money line. As well as I do, Jimmy Buckets. This is his time. This is what he preps all season for. It's so hard to count out the Heat in the playoffs right now. They're too good of a team. They're too deep of a team. They consistently prove people wrong. And I am not totally willing to bet on Joel Embiid and his health right now. The Atlanta-Chicago game is probably the toughest one that I will have to pick of the 3, but I kind of lean Bulls -3. And just kind of for the simple factor, I did not think that the Bulls were going to be here at the beginning of the season. They just don't have the team, I think, in my opinion, to be able to go very deep into the playoffs. I thought they were going to miss the play-in. But Kobe White has been a fantastic addition for this team. DeMar DeRozan continues to play at a consistent level every night. I think this team can get it done, man. The Hawks, for some reason, I just don't believe in the Trae Young and DeJounte Murray dynamic. I think one of those guys is going to be gone in the offseason. Might be Trae Young. That's a later discussion. But I'm going to ride with the Bulls here. Gut feeling. Call it Gary gut feeling, if you will. I'm going to ride with the Bulls here. Probably just take them on the money line -150 just to be safe there.
Gary Gowdy, what are your thoughts on the playing games?
I'm not really stressing the playing games because on 4/20, the Magic take on the Cavs. in the first round of the playoffs. And I mean, who would have thought, bruh? The Magic really did some shit this year. And I'm excited. The Cavs have also been pretty decent this year. Um, but we're rocking with the hometown boys. I think the Magic are gonna go far. I really hope they do at least. But
Yeah,
that's what
we'll definitely dive into those games in detail on Thursday because that's when we'll have all the series kind of ready to go in terms of where we're thinking teams are going to land. So I'm excited for it. We're have a very in-depth episode with it. And aside from that, boys, championship odds just dropped. Who do you guys think the top 3 would be? Just curious.
Nuggets.
Okay. They're number 2.
I'm gonna go with the Nuggets, Clippers, and
Bucks.
So
maybe.
you guys are close. I mean, those are top 5 teams. Celtics lead the way plus 150. I mean, that's a crazy line if you're going to take that. Celtics, known chokers, plus 150 is basically a guarantee they're going to win the fucking thing. The Nuggets at plus 300. I mean, pretty good odds to repeat. I wouldn't be surprised. And then it drops off from there. Thunder 14-1, Clippers 14-1, Bucks 14-1. All 3 same odds. That rounds out your top 5. Following that up, Mavs 16-1, Sixers playing team 18-1. The Heat are actually all the way down here at 40-1. And the team with the worst odds, Indiana Pacers, 100-1.
I thought you were gonna say the Magic.
The Magic aren't even on this list. No bullshit.
Damn,
Wow.
that is fucking tragic.
So do what you will with that information. I'm so glad you brought that up, Gary.
Damn.
Rip.
That's brutal.
Big rip, dude.
Voice of God. What's the deal with the play-ins?
You can't overlook them, as boring as they might be sometimes. I'm sure that they'll be a little exciting, but I think last year proves with the Heat that it doesn't really matter if you're in the play-in. You can still make a run at the title. So the matchups do sound kind of exciting, but yeah, I'll definitely be tuning in.
I guess God is a SoFlo fan.
God doesn't have to answer that. God
What's
does
the
as he
question?
pleases. He said, so you're a SoFlo fan?
I'm a fan of winners.
There you go.
So not a SoFlo fan.
That was
Insert
God.
tickets.
That was God respectfully telling you to go fuck yourself. And that is going to do it for today's episode. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like, subscribe.
I got picks. What are we
Share all your
doing? I
picks
got
with everyone you
picks.
know. Holmes, share your picks.
All right, we already have a few games underway tonight, but the picks that we do have, 2-way parlay. We're going to take the Kansas City Royals first 5 money line tonight, minus 160. And then you're going to put that with the Dodgers first 5 money line, minus 360. Put those 2 together, you get a little plus 109 parlay. We like both of these teams to start off pretty hot. Seth Lugo has been great for the Royals in his starts for this season. Tyler Glass now absolutely dominant for the Dodgers so far. Fading the White Sox, fading the Nationals here. Parlay those 2 together. I'm also going to take the Reds plus 130 underdog on the money line tonight in Seattle. The Reds have been tearing the cover off the ball, looking really good. Frankie Montas has actually pitched pretty well in his few starts with the Reds. George Kirby, he had a great first outing for the Mariners, but has looked like garbage ever since then. I'm going to hope that the Reds light him up on the road tonight and that they come out with a win. Games that are already underway, I got Rays on the money line. I got Yankees on the money line. I got Philly and Kansas City parlayed money lines, plus 120, and then Baltimore Orioles first 5 money line as well. Sorry about not dropping those tomorrow to drop after baseball.
All right. You heard him. Get on it. If you did enjoy the episode, please make sure to like, subscribe, share with everyone you know. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.